This video is for the new Wishing Well box card, and I've got all the pieces laid out. This one's going to go together a little differently. So this piece here is the main box. These long pieces like this, these are extra support pieces that you would put inside here. And that's, I'm gonna use them, but I think my paper is sturdy enough that I wouldn't need them. But that's in case your paper is not as heavy. These smaller pieces are the ones that go here. I did mine in a contrasting color. And then these are the supports that come down from the top. And what's going to happen with this one is as it comes around, it's going to come here. So it's going to give our roof a little bit of stability. Our roof these pieces are the panels for our roof. And then the roof is going to come here. It's going to glue to these short tabs here and just hang over. We're not going to glue it down. So you want to make, so you want to make a really good fold here so that it'll stay folded down. And that way the card will still fold and close. So you can't connect the roof at the top. Then we've got some vines, and this piece, the bucket is going to be a little different. It's going to line up to the top, and it's going to glue to the side post and the side here. Okay, so let's start by putting together some pieces. I've done one vine, and I saved one to do with you. And I'm just gonna, I've already done the other one, so I'm just going to touch the edge of the leaves here. So on this vine you can see, when you cut it out and look at it, you can kind of see a 3-point leaf. And that's where your flowers are going to, you're going to hear them to each leaf section that you see there, each 3-leaf section. So I have also curled my flowers, so I saved a few to do. And again, I just use the palm of my hand when I do these. My paper is textured, so I have to make sure I get it on the right side. And I just push it in. Just give it just a little bit of a curl. Hopefully we won't have any distractions today. School has started, so I've got children Zooming in different rooms in the house. So I'm just going to hit the edges of the leaves here on this one. I've already done the other two. I'm going to do these because I want my ink to dry before I glue. Now let's put some flowers on. So I'm just going to put a small dot and then adhere my flowers. I'm going to reach across here, change my light a little because my shadow is casting weird. I don't know if that helped or not. This is why I give this time to dry, because the glue dots are not very big. So these need to be completely dried before I mess with them, or I'll lose my flowers. And this is a little bit time consuming, but I really felt like the wishing well was missing something. And this adds so much to it. We're almost there. The hardest thing for me in doing the videos is that it's so quiet. I like background noise, and so there's nothing else going on. And so at times I feel, except for a ringing phone, but I'm sure it's a sales call, so I'm just gonna let it go. I'm sorry for that. Sounds like maybe from the caller ID that it's another political call. Yay, I only get about 1,000 a day. I apologize. I typically have the ringer turned off, but somebody brought a different phone into my office the other day, so that ringer was not off, obviously. So let's just set that aside. And let's take care of some of our piecing. So these are the panels for the front of the wishing well. And this one lines up to the bottom. This piece is the top. It's going to line up to the top. I've included this outline that makes it look like stone, but if you had an embosser that had a stone pattern, you could do that instead of doing this, and that would look nice too. So I'm just going to put these pieces together. And I'm using, I don't even remember what stack it was from, but this funky multicolored paper I had from Die Cuts with a View. Because stones, most of the stones that I've seen are all different colors. They're not a solid color, so I thought that that would work nice as my stone. And I'm just going to lightly hit the edges. Even a nice green on that inking would look nice, a really light green to make it look like maybe some moss was growing on there. That would be kind of cool. You may be wondering about my green leaves there and my extra flowers. These are the pieces that are going to go on the front, and I want to look at it and see how I want to do them before I actually glue the flowers on. So our bucket is these pieces. So there's 6 total. And we're just going to build it here. I like to have all my pieces to go so that once I start the construction, I don't have to think about anything else. I just think about the construction of the actual piece instead of whether or not I have a piece ready to put on. Took me a while to think about how to make it look like there was a rope hanging, and this was the best thing I could think of to accomplish that. And put the water in the bucket. My thumbnail broke the other day. That's one of my favorite scraping nails. There we go. Your fine tip glue bottle will really come in handy with this because there's several small pieces, small flowers. One of these stripes is just a little bit shorter than the other. The shorter one goes on the bottom. The longer one goes towards the top. I've got all kinds of distractions today. That was my computer going to sleep. So that's our insert, and that's ready to go. Those are ready. Let's work on this piece. So these, I'm going to go ahead and put my supports in, just because. So what you'll want to make sure of when you're using the supports is that you're not impeding the bending of the card so that it'll fold flat. So it would be, so do this. Make sure you don't go over the top because you don't want to affect the way the roof is going to lay. I think I'm slightly hanging over the bottom. I'm really bad about lining things up, but whenever you have a pair of scissors, it doesn't matter. See how fast that dries. It's almost already dry. See if I got enough on there. Okay, so then the cross beams, it should only fit one way. It's going to line up to here. It's going to line up to this edge. you don't have to worry too much about this bottom edge because there is a border around this piece. That one, and then, well, this one goes flush. So you can put your, let's do that. Let's put these on first because it'll help with lining up the beam. So this is meant to look like almost like cement, maybe a limestone. The well that I was looking at for inspiration had that on it. So, but then this has just a little border above and below and on the two sides. So the top piece is flush to the top with a border on the two sides, and then this one is centered. Kind of get your lines level with above, but have a border all the way around. Same with this side. Okay, and then let's do these pieces. That's going to go just like that. If I get quiet, I'm just thinking, design this all in my head. I've laid it out and it looks like it's going to work, but this is the first time I'm putting it together, so I'm making sure I'm stopping and thinking. Now this piece hangs over the edge, but it does have 2 points on it. And so you line it up to the top, and this bottom point and this bottom point line up to the edge. So don't glue this past this point. Don't put any glue on this end or this end, because that hangs over. And I'm going to do it just a smidgen inside to make sure I don't go over on my glue. Just like that. And again, it's going to line up and be flush with the top. And then each point is hanging over. Then we're just going to center this one. There we go. So that's what it looks like from the front, and see these are going to, which is why I haven't, these kind of come over. I kind of thought about maybe draping this side down a little bit longer, but I'm not sure yet. I think I want to put my roof on and think about all that. So these vines go up the side. And then up this side, like that. So that's where those are going to go. I'm not going to put them on just yet. So see, that adds so much to the almost fairy tale look of this wishing well. Of course, I'm a huge Disney fan, so it makes me think of Sleeping Beauty or Snow White, one of the woodland scenes from Disney. This is for the sentiment on the back, so I just went ahead and glued that together. Let's put the roof pieces together. So I think I'm going to fold this both ways, loosen that up just a little more. So the bottom one lines up to the top, and then you're just going to glue that down, and then this one. So your roof has some design to it. It would also look really good, I think, embossed. So again, just line this up flush to the top. And apply this piece. We're going to just line that up to the top. You use a little more paper this way, but then you're certain to get it to where you want it to go. So then that's going to hang down the front. Your bucket will be behind, and that'll hang down. So that's what we're going for. So let's keep going. I'm not sure which part would be easier to put on next. I'm going to put this piece on and this accent piece on, so you can see that this slant edge goes up flush to that. And the reason that there's two pieces for each side is just to give us a little more stability in the roof, because with three pieces on here, it's a little bit heavy, so I wanted to make sure that the supports can handle it. This card will fit in a 5x7 envelope. I believe it's 7 inches wide and should be 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And will be 5, so that's your 5x7. Okay. Just going to start with just this one until I fiddle around with these inserts and the roof to see well, I put a tab on both sides, and I really don't need that second tab there. But it may actually help it, so I'm not going to take that tab off. So just glue it down. And then it glues to the other side. Okay, so we're coming together pretty good here. Let's get this on. I didn't put this on exactly straight, so I've got a little crease there, but I think I can work that out. So when you glue this support that has a piece that goes across, I think it would be best to start it at the bottom. I started mine at the top to make sure that your fold is in the right place. Okay. I don't know if I want to do the inside first. I think I'll do the inside before I do the roof. So, what have I done wrong? Oh, because it's longer. Okay. So because this is longer, the front is longer than the back. You can't lay it down flat, but you can lay it like this. Okay, we'll just do it this way. That works. So you're going to line your well. It lines up to the back because that's where the support piece comes in. So you can just lay these right across your support piece, and then we're going to fold it over and catch them so that we catch it in the right spot. Okay, so I'm going to apply some glue. I shouldn't have attached the front piece yet. That piece is hindering me a little, but it's not too bad. There we go. Okay, and then apply glue here to these. You just have to work with it a little. Don't try to force it. Just be patient, and then it'll come to you that you have it going the right way. So there's that. Now, to close up the box, I'm going to add some glue here. Fold it both ways. It's a nice thing about paper is you can train it. Okay, so here we are so far. This is what we've got done. Now we've got to get the roof going. So it might be easiest. Let's see. So that's how the roof is going to work. Okay. So it's a little bit tricky. If anything, I would suggest doing it a little higher rather than lower, because you want to make sure. So the tab lines up right to the bottom. Right to the bottom. Stick my finger in there. Get that to attach. put it down here. And see, that's how it's going to work. That's why this is a support piece across the top. It pops the roof up as it stands. Okay. So now let's put our flowers on. I like the leaf to point to the back, that bottom leaf. So I think I'm just going to put glue on. Maybe there. And you want to make sure your flower stays below your line for your roof to rest on. And then come to the other side and put your vine. Okay. And then let's see what I like going on over here. So there's 3 flowers for each leaf segment, but you don't have to use all of them. Just fiddle around and find something you like. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna make these a little tighter. I'm just kind of pinching the flower in my fingers, make it a little tighter so I can get my flowers closer together. So I think I like that. I think I like it cascading down. So I'm going to add just a little glue to this bottom leaf. I'm going to work on this on my flat surface. I knew I wasn't going to use all the flowers, but I cut them anyway, just in case. Because I never know, once I start working on it, what I'm going to like. Maybe too much stress against that one flower to make it stay. I'm pinching it a little bit tighter because I want these closer in together. I'm going to add some glue just down the center. Gonna kind of have that coming over from the side, and add some blue here. I forgot to put the back on. I look up and I see that I've forgotten. Oh, and that didn't stick, so I gotta take care of that. I might need to increase the size on those tabs. I think I will. Let me put this down. Okay, let me re-glue this tab. Okay, and there is the Wishing Well box card. The light is casting a shadow, especially since I think that turned out pretty nice. Thank you for joining me today.